So if you remember in the previous class, we ended up by using a package called audio players, and we used audio players to play audios from internet. So as I mentioned, actually to have a complete UI and controls for audio playback, it needs some significant programming, but I have shown you like the basics. But some part is remaining. For example, how to uh, like show a slider while the audio is being played. So this thing we can show today, inshallah. But before we go and do some heavy programming, we will do first we will do an easy thing, which is called how can you change the icon or the logo of your app. So if you don't change, then the app logo will be the default Flutter logo. As you can see in the screen, the name of the app was Flutter Training, and the logo, as you can see, it's this one. The logo is the default Flutter logo, and we want to change it. We want to change it to our own logo. So how can we do it? How can we change the the app logo to a suitable logo? So the first thing is you have to design your own logo. First, design your own logo and save the logo as a PNG file. It's better to save as a PNG. You can use other images, but PNG is better. So design your own logo by whatever software you want, and at the end save the logo as a PNG image. So for example, I have just downloaded. Okay, let me go here. Yeah. So I downloaded this logo. Just I made a search in the Google and downloaded this image as or to be used as logo. So it's a simple image. You can design your own image suitable for your app. Okay. So we want to use this image as the logo for the app, or the logo icon for the app, the icon that appears on the screen, on the mobile screen. Okay, so how can we do that? Okay, there are several ways you can do. Again, there are several ways. There is an easy way, and there is a regular way, which is not so, it's easy but not so easy like the first way. Like if you are using Xcode, then from Xcode there is a way to change the icon of the app easily. You can do it. And if you want to do through Android, and then there you can modify the Android manifest files and add your logo there. Just the path, you need to give the path and the logo will be changed. But here, which is like more flexible, you can go back to the default one easily. You can change to another logo easily just by one line of execution of code. So what we will do is, first we will copy this file and we will put it in our image folder. So we will open our project, and remember we had an image folder, and we will copy the logo into the folder. Okay, this is the first thing. Then what we will do is we will use a package called Flutter Launcher Icons. Flutter Launcher Icons. Okay. So, so what we will do is we will use this package, and to use the package, as we said earlier, you need to add this line of code, copy it, go back to Android Studio, open the pubspec.yml under dependencies, copy the package name with version and get it. Okay, so we got the package. Now what to do? Okay, the first part is we have to do something inside this YAML file. Inside this YAML file, we need to do something. So let's go back Flutter launcher icons and see the steps. They have clearly mentioned what to do. So what you have to do is, okay, so we need to add this block. This one we have already done. Either you can put under develop dev dependency. Okay, so as they mentioned, that both of them will work, but under this one, because we only need this one during our development. We don't need it while the user runs it. So we can we copy it under this. Anyway, then we can use this block. Use this block, copy, and put it outside the dependency block. So dependency block finishes here. So we can copy it here. So we are not developing for web or Windows. So for now, we can remove this, and we want to do it both for Android and iOS. So we gave it true. So we want to change the icon for Android and also for iOS. Okay. And we need to give the path. So the path was in images. Remember, it was in images. And under images, the name was training logo dot png. This was the name of the file. Path, actually. The path, you need to give the path here. Okay. Minimum SDK. This is actually, you can ignore, you can keep. This is the minimum of around Android 6. Okay, so it's okay. Even 23, 24 is okay. And by default they're using 21. So in that case, you can even remove it, no problem. Now, next is what? We already got the pub-get, so we don't need them. And now you have to run the package. You need to run the package. Remember, this is, you need to do only once before you compile your project. Before you compile your project, you need to do this. You need to, because this package is actually what it does, it changes some settings. That's all. It changes some settings. Okay. So what we will do is we already got the pub-get, we already got, because we clicked this pub-get. So we already have the package downloaded. Now all you have to do is you have to run this command. So how can you run this command? You need to go to terminal, and if you copy it and paste it, it will not run because may not match. The path may not match. So you need to find the path. So I need to find the path of my Flutter. So let me see where I am in the directory. So this is, where is this directory? So we need to see. Okay, so let me find out the directory. Okay. Volumes. Okay. Now we go to data. Yes, yeah, we found it, or Flutter. Okay, we found the Flutter. That was the wrong directory. So either you save the path while you install Flutter, as they mentioned in the Flutter install. There was a section how to save the path of the Flutter, or you find it out like this way, and then you call the run this command line command. So we already have the Flutter path. So all we need to do is we need to run this one. So go back, paste it, and run it. Okay, so it's saying that there is, it couldn't find it. Oh, sorry. I need to remove the ls. Here. Okay. Good. So we run the command, and it's saying it's running Flutter launcher icons version whatever, and it's creating the default icon for Android and overriding creating icons for the web. No, everything is doing whatever. And now all we have to do is just recompile the program. Recompile the program. Okay, so let's go back, minimize the app, and see if the icon is changed. Yes. Oh, it was changed, but
Dr. Ismail?
it changed and it came back. Okay, let's stop it. remove.
Dr. Nabil, can you hear me?
Yes.
I think I have a lag here. I can't see what you're doing. It's like a static screen here. Is it my connection or?
I don't know. What about others? Do you see my screen? What about others? Do you see the screen clearly, or you have the problem also? Are you with us, the others, other than Ahmed?
I can see this. I can see the screen.
You can see the screen. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So is something hidden? Like, can you clearly see the code and the emulator? Can you see it clearly?
Yes, very clear.
Okay. Let's. I want to remove it. Okay. Let's run it again. Yes, as you can see, we have now a new icon for our training app. So it doesn't look very nice. It doesn't look very nice, but you know the method how to change it. So it's very simple. Just add Flutter launcher icon as your development dependency. Okay, just add it. Get the package by running the pub get command, and then outside dependency, just copy and paste these 3 lines. If you're doing only for Android and iOS, you can the package description, as you can see here, they have here. Okay, so you can copy and paste from here, and then make sure you have the correct image path is there. If you want to change for Android and not for iOS, or if you want to have 2 icons, one for iOS, one different for Android. So first keep, for example, if you want Android to be the same one, different, then you can run 2 times, something like this, with different logo. Anyway, so we said that, okay, use this same icon for iOS and Android, and after that, all we have to do is you need to go to the terminal and run this particular command. Just run it, and the command is also given here. No, not this one. This one. Okay. The first line is to get the package, which we already did by clicking the pub-get command in the Android Studio. And the second line is the command line for running the code to change our icon. Okay, this is one thing. Another thing is which actually you will need if you want to release a production level app, which is, when you run, or when you first run an app, it shows a screen like the logo of the company or some sometimes some other information, and then the main page launches. So that is called splash screen or launch screen. So how can we do it? Do you understand what I am saying? Like when you launch the app for the first time, it was not in the background, it was not launched, it was not running. So if you run it, for us it will show a like white screen. Like every app needs some time to load. The operating system like needs maybe split of a second to few seconds to load an app. So during that time we need to show something like the logo of the company or the name of the app or some whatever you want. So this is called splash screen or sometimes called launch screen. So how can you do that? That's also almost similar like what we have done, and there is a package for that. So if you search for Flutter launch or Flutter splash screen, Flutter native splash. Okay. See, as you see, they show here, like they click the example app and it shows some like a screen, and then the app is launched. So the way you change the icon, almost the same way you can use this same package. First get this package, and then like make a new YML file with this line, with this content, and then run it. And in the content you can turn it on, turn it off, the options what you like what color you want for the background, and if you want to give an image like this, so they are changing the colors, like giving a color. So they wrote it, and if you want to restore back to the default one, you run this one. If you want to execute this one, you run this command. Can you do it, or do you want me to show you the whole process? Can you do it yourself, how to add the launch screen, or should I show you from the beginning to end? So you have lost interest in Flutter, right? Because I think most of you are not listening.
It's unfortunately follow what you're doing.
Okay, so
Because I got like.
so can you like, are you able to add the launch screen like from my instruction, or should I show you the whole process?
It's based from my connection. It's not
Okay.
well.
Okay. What about others? Are you with us? Because today it feels like uh, participation is low. Like I see most of you, but it looks maybe you are not with us. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. Let me do it quickly. Maybe that will be helpful for you if you see it later on. So what we'll do is we'll copy again the package name, go to YML, and like as you said, put it either you can put it on a dependency or development dependency. Okay. So we can, as they said, we are putting here. Yes.
The screen is not shown. Okay.
The screen.
Yes, now it's.
Okay. So we add the Flutter native splash, this package, and we get the package. And let's stop it because we need to read. Okay. Now what we will do is, as we see that how to set up the splash screen, we need to create another YML file, or copy and paste the whole thing inside our existing PubSpec YML file, because there's a lot of text here. So what we will do is we will create another YML file with that name. So we'll copy the name. We will go back to Android Studio, and like there is a YML file, we'll create another one. So under the project, we'll create a new file, and give this name. So we get a new file with empty content, Flutter native splash.yml. We created a file, then go back, copy the text, and paste it here. Okay. Good. Now, as if you read a few lines, to change your splash screen, you have to run this command. No, the first command, this one. It's very simple. Pub run the package name :create, and remove will remove the any existing splash screen, and it will restore the default one. Okay. And the parameters, like what color you need, what is the background image, what is the background for dark mode, all these things you can mention here. So they gave some examples here, like they set the color code. So if you want other than white, then you can give the hexadecimal color code here, like this way, with a hash, and then hexadecimal code for the color, and then you can give the background image if you want to change. So we don't want to change the color, so we make it a comment, but we want to change the background image, and suppose we want to use our same logo. So we give images slash, where is our logo name? So let's copy the name, give it .png. Right. Okay. And then we just run this command. Again, go to terminal. Do you see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Yes.
Okay.
The connection got better
Okay.
now.
Okay. So we just run the code there as they mentioned, and this is the output they're giving. So here, from here. Great. So native Splash is complete, but it will not, I guess it will not look very nice because we are using a small image to use it as a launcher image, not launcher, launch screen or splash screen. So it will might look very strange because sometimes it stretches. So so you have to sit with your designer and design a good splash screen. But let's see how it looks for our case. It might look very strange, but okay, you get the you get the idea. See here, it's stretched because the original image was small, so it was stretched to it was resized to fit the whole screen. So, but you get the idea. So all you have to do is design your launch screen with appropriate size. It should be like a good resolution, the resolution of the screen. The icon can be very small file, no problem, because icon is a very small size because it will come on the screen as an icon. But this background image, it will fill the whole screen. So it should have like sufficient resolution. Otherwise, it will stretch to fit the screen. So it might not look good. But you have you got the idea. Is it clear what I am doing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because these two are like fundamental requirements. If you program for any company or for any person, they will ask you to use a particular icon or to use a particular launch screen. So you should know how to do it. In any case, there are several ways of doing these things, but I am showing you the easiest one that I found over the years. So at the beginning, these easy things were not there. But now, alhamdulillah, we have much easier way of doing. Another thing that sometimes you may need to do is to change the package name of your app. Remember when you created the, let me see if we can see it from here, project. Properties, do you have project structure? Okay. Okay, let me close it and show you from the beginning, then you will know what I am saying. So let's close it. Okay. Remember when we created the new Flutter project, and here we needed to give the organization, and I told you that you need to give in a reverse way. Reverse way means, like, for example, you have like suppose we are doing an app for KFVPM. So kfvpm.edu.sa. So we write in an opposite way. So the web address you write from like sort of backwards. This is not a required, like not a requirement that you have to write this way, but this is a common way because this name should be unique. And what they will do is they will add your project name as the first part, then put a dot. Like if you say training, right? So what they will do is they will add training at the beginning, then dot sa.edu.kfp, like this. They will add, and they will use this as a package folder structure, as a folder structure. And this folder structure is used to create folders inside the project structure. And how can you know it? Just check, go to Android, go to app, go to source, go to main, and either go to Java or Kotlin based on what you have selected at the beginning. What is your language for Android? So if you click, I think we selected Kotlin. So if you go to Kotlin, now see here, this was the name that we gave, like net.ideas to serve. This is my domain I have, so I gave it, and this was the name of the project. So it used the company name, put the dot, and they used the project name. So this was the name of your apps package, you can say, something like this. So it should be unique. You cannot have the same name like this for another app which is already available in the Play Store. So what they do is, in the project, it will create the folder. It will create the folder according to this name. So if you go to Finder, so I came this same folder. I am showing you in the terminal, not terminal, in the Finder, or if you can see it in the Windows Explorer. So if you go inside, there are Java Kotlin resource, like as you can see here. Then if you go to Kotlin, now see here, it doesn't show here all the folders, but he created the folders like here, like net, then ideas to serve, then Flutter training. Inside it is the main activity. This is the file, actually it is called by Flutter when it is run in the Android. Now what may happen is, this name, this name, as we wrote at the beginning, you may not know, because this is also the same one we use as a unique identifier when we upload the production app. When we upload the production app, we have to give similar like this kind of ID, and normally we try to give the same one like what we write here, both for iOS and both for Android. So in that case, you at the last moment when the code is almost ready, then you ask your company for which you are building the app, or maybe you have to change the name or something. Then you have to update it. Now once you create the code, create the project, updating is not easy. It's a troublesome, because you have to rename all those folders, and actually it's just recreating the folders will not work, because there are other places where you need to update them. So it will generate a lot of bugs, and in worst case you have to make a new project and copy paste the code, sometimes, which is not very feasible, because you have maybe already you have changed the Gradle files, because these Gradle files, and in iOS folder there are like there is the file called where is the pod files, and sometimes you update them under runner like Xcode workspace. You update some of the files there, some of the properties there. So if you every time if you create a new project, you have to redo them all. Especially you need to add the path for your production level signature, the hash code, the hash key. So for signing your app, signing your APK. So for that purpose, there are other packages which is used to change the package name. So if I remember, we can search it here. Flutter change package name. So you can use this. Actually, this saved my life several times, because that's why I'm telling you this as important, because I have spent a lot of time like behind this issue. So it was not there at the beginning. If you see their change logs, you know when they started. So it was a 2021 package. So I was working much earlier before this 2021, and there was not easy way to change the package names. So app package name, if you want to change, if you do it manually, it may introduce a lot of bugs, as I said, a lot of issues. So use this package. It's simple, very simple to use, similar like what I have shown you. Just add the package and just run this code with the new package name. This is the new package name. Just run this one. It will restructure the folder, update the required like files, and you are ready to go. So this is a it's a small, very small package. It's a very small package, but it's a very useful, and it will save your life if you know about it. So I told you several times, but it's very important, so I'm repeating it. So try to go through like pub.dev, and browse through the existing packages, because sometimes many packages are already there that will solve your time, that will save your hundreds of hours, maybe a month of works can be saved if you have proper package. So always before you do something, search for different packages. You will find it, or just search in the Google. You will find a lot of question answers in uh, Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow you will find, and also flutter.dev. Always check this site, especially go to the documentation and try to read through whenever you have time. Just go through the different sections they have, and especially performance and optimization. Will in the tomorrow maybe we'll just quickly go through like few issues or few like points from it, which actually you will need when you do production level app. But because you are doing or you are at the beginning of Flutter learning, so you may not worry about much. But if you are releasing app, then you need to know some of these issues. Okay. So these are the quick 3 things that I wanted to show at the beginning. Any questions from what we have covered? No question? Have you learned anything over the last 2.5 weeks? Have you learned some useful thing about Flutter? Are you confident that you can start programming in Flutter? Do you hear me? Are you with us?
Yes.
Because today I feel the participants are very quiet. So I'm not sure whether something is missing from my side. Are you hearing or no? Brother Omar, we didn't hear your voice.
I follow. I with you. Just follow.
Okay, so we want to hear the voice. So I know that you are with us. Everyone is with us.
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay, great. So the question is, have you learned something over the classes? The question is like, it should not be just like one way. So you should be practicing and be confident that you can start developing apps or applications in Dart and Flutter. So do you feel confident that you can start?
Yes.
Okay.
Dr. Tanwir, I
Yes.
think I have a different opinion.
Yes.
What I discovered is about Flutter that it's not currently in demand, but it will get in demand in the future, maybe. So currently they mostly use I think Kotlin and mostly Swift. I'm intending maybe I will use these both languages, but that doesn't mean that I will ignore this language. In my workplace, there's someone that I know have experience with programming, and he told me that Flutter is not the best, but it's like every language has some features to use. He used a combinations of languages for his application, like Flutter. He told me that he uses Flutter a little, but what I should focus is learn each language. So I'm still now confused about which one to start, but definitely I will start a little with Flutter, and then I will start with after that Swift, because now I have like different interests both in mobile and web applications, so it's a little bit complicated.
Okay. Actually, what you said is also very common. You can hear the same thing from different people. The first thing is there are over 500,000 apps in Google Play Store written in Flutter. This is not my statistics. This is Google statistics. So in Google Play Store, there are, and it's quite a few months ago, the statistics, more than 500,000. More than 500,000 apps written in Flutter available to be downloaded from Google Play Store. And that you have the same code base. What happened is those programmers or those developers who are already working in Kotlin, in Android, or for example in Swift or Objective-C, it's not easy to shift. It's not easy to shift. Once you have spent a few years of your life in learning and developing something, it's not easy to shift. But if you are just starting or not like at the introductory level of developing applications, then Flutter is a very good choice. And according to the statistics, it's one of the most popular languages in the world now. GitHub, they release some statistics or something. So if you search, you will find this is one of the fastest growing like interest amongst the developers, programmers. And yes, it is true that according to the performance level, the native applications are better. But what Google is doing is the Flutter code is actually natively compiled. It's not simulated. So for most of the work, you will not feel a difference. You will not feel that it's lagging. Maybe for certain kind of applications, maybe the support is not as good as native, like some UI components in iOS environment may not be available for Flutter yet, or maybe some kinds like iOS or Android, they are much older than Flutter. So the amount of third-party support for packages are huge. So if you compare this one, yes, native is better. But what as I said before, maybe in the first or second session, is like companies who are like developing their initial products and they don't want to invest so much, because it's if you have like one code for Android, another code for iOS, another code for web, another code for Windows, another code for Mac, another code for Linux, then you have to have like 5-6 programmers, because it's very hard to find one programmer who knows both, like iOS programming and Android programming. It's hard to get because it's difficult to focus on two at the same time. So, and then if you want to develop both versions, like for example, if you open Google Translate, in Android and in iOS, you'll see they look different. The Android version of Google Translate, they have updated the usability hugely. It feels like a completely new app, and much better now in terms of usability, the way they changed the interaction. But the iOS version still remains same. It still remains the old one. So that means they have different code for both, and they are not having the same features. They are not having the same features. So if the company can employ like several programmers, each one is working on each platform, okay, then go with the native one. If not, then Flutter is a very promising one. And since we have developed 2 production level applications, they are fairly good. If I can say, yes, I didn't develop all the types of applications, but from my experience and from my requirements, it was the best actually, because we developed our application first in native Android, and then we found that for people like us who are not maybe who are developing applications for Sadaqah for free, then it's very hard to, because iOS programmers are more expensive. They are hard to find, and they're more expensive to hire an iOS programmer. So this is the general some comments. So you can always decide based on what is required. I don't know whether it answers some of your confusions.
Which one has more demand currently?
Which one means like from what?
Which mobile programming language has more demand currently?
It's hard to say. It depends on like the investor what they are wanting. So I know many companies, or I read online about many companies, especially startups and small companies, who are shifting their code and rebuilding their app using Flutter, because it's much cheaper to maintain it. So it depends for whom you are working, or like the client. So if the client wants native, okay, go with native. If he wants, no, I want to prove the concept, launch it quickly, see how it works, okay, Flutter is good.
Is it difficult? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no problem.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. I was just saying that we can take a break now, and we can continue after the break.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'll stop recording.